was the year when I first discovered this book, that is, All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. I remember being excited for its release. I wanted to have it, so as soon as the prices dropped, I bought it. I wanted to know the story of a boy who wanted to die, who taught a girl to leave. I wanted to know the story of Violet and Finch. I was pretty excited to read this book, but sadly, I never got a chance to read it. But now, I finally got a chance to read this book, but
I didn't like it. Namaste guys and welcome back to my channel. I am Divya and I make videos book related. So make sure to like, comment and share as much as you can, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So for today's book review Thursday, I am going to review this book, that is All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. So this book's been sitting on my bookshelf for the longest of the time, and I was actually bought this book because of its hype. But I never got to read this book because, as I've said in my other videos, that I've read from the same author another book, that is Holding Up the Universe, and it was not a good read for me, so I dropped it. But as the movie's been released already, so and again the hype going around with this book, I wanted to read this book and know what's the hype around this book so damn much. But yet again, I was disappointed. It was an okay read for me, not the brilliant one as everyone says. So the plot has two leads, that are a male lead and a female lead. A male lead is Finch, Theodore Finch, and a female lead is Violet Harkey. The thing is that Theodore Finch wants to take his own life. He has some things that he experienced in his childhood and is still experiencing, and Violet is not over with her sister's death and kind of also going through the phases in her life. So they meet at this ledge of the Bear School Tower, and from there only their story begins. So as the front cover of this book says, it's a story about a girl who learns to live from a boy who wants to die. Now I will try to summarize all the things that I have for this book, just my feelings for this book. So let's first talk about this plot of this book. Now, one thing before going through the plot and knowing what I feel about this book. So there's this short disclaimer here in this video, is that if you really die-hard fan of this book, and if you really love those characters and this book absolutely, so please don't watch this video and then leave negative comments. Just don't do that to yourself and to me. But if you are open to other people's opinions, please be my guest and watch this video. So let's head back to our plot. So the plot was really predictable and repetitive. This might be because it's a book that has been released in 2015, and there was a trend in that time that two high school students being put in a certain group was, and just they fall in love with each other, just opposite attracts and everything. So I think that might be the case with the plot, because that was really a trend at that time. If you pick up all the YA books of that time, most of the books have the same plot. So I must say, I really liked how it was opened. The book of the first chapter, that is from the Theodore Finch point of view, I really liked how it was opened, and I was actually expecting it to be like that till the end, but it didn't happen. Now the first half of the book was nothing but dragged to make this book long. Now as for the characters, let's first talk about the character of Finch. So his character was really a pushy one. I really didn't like his character as soon as he meets a Violet female lead. And I can't even understand how a girl could like this boy who continuously tries to cross the boundaries and tries to be in her personal space. I don't know why it was so, what was so just lovable about this whole scene or the topic, that he's being so pushy and continuously trying to be in our personal space. I didn't feel connected to his character because nothing was actually written about his character other than him being depressed. Now don't take it otherwise, I'm talking about the character. His character was actually written like that only. I didn't feel the emotions, the connection that I was trying to feel with his character, but there was nothing written actually. Just all the things that are written from his point of view is that just the characters and some flowery writing language. Now, if I talk about Violet's character, her character was alright, as nothing was written about her character. Just like it was written so much about Finch's character, but his character was not developed. His characters just written about depressing things and everything, not his about his character, his thoughts, and just words were written about Finch's character, nothing else. And as for Violet's character, there was not words written, but I do like the parts that even though there was not much written about her character, but there were some things written about her character that actually made her feel connected to her character. And I actually wanted to read more from her character than from Finn's character, as she was also struggling. And I know the level of struggling for every person differs from person to person, but I do hope, I just wanted to read more from her character rather than from Finch. Now, as for the writing style of this book, I have said enough that I'm not a fan of flowery language, flowery writing, but I could handle that and I could actually love it if the plot is good. But that was not the case here. And I have also read, as I've said earlier, that I have also read another book from the same author, that is Holding Up the Universe, and I had the same problem with that book also. The language was flowery, but the plot was not good. The plot was tried to make like something, the concept was again good, but it was not executed properly. It was like words were written like that to shadow the plot holes. So I'm not saying that this book is an utter bullshit. The people who love it will love it, and people who don't love it will not love it. Now, as I said, I like the concept of the book, and I have no problem whatsoever reading sad endings. Actually, if I'm reading a romance novel, I prefer reading sad endings or depressed one, because I really love reading sad endings and just depressing books. I don't know why, but I just love that. But sadly, this book didn't bring even a single tear in my eye. Call me unemotional person or just whatever you want to call, but that didn't happen. Now, one of the major thing is that as the plot goes through some dark themes, some really depressing things, I would highly suggest you to go through trigger warning, content warning before actually reading this book, because I know many are not comfortable with reading this book. So yeah, just go through the content and trigger warnings before picking up this book. Now, another thing that concerns me is like, what the hell were their parents doing? I mean, I know Finn's parents were designed like that, to be just stone-hearted, and her dad, of course, his dad, of course. But what about Violet's parents? I think her Violet's parents are pretty much the parents that everyone owns, everyone has, mostly everyone. Because I could relate to her parents very much, and actually, yeah, I was actually hoping her parents to step up, but no, none parents decided to step up and take an action while their children were suffering. Seriously, my real feelings for this book right now is that the characters were just written like that, and they were just tools to author imagination or author's writing, nothing else. She just made them to make it into a book. There's no structure, no premise, nothing whatsoever. So I have read this another book about mental health or depression from this author, Nick Weatherhawk, that is known as Living with Depression. The author wrote this book from his own experiences, as he is living with depression from so many years, and he made me realize that what's the difference between being depressed and actually feeling depressed. And it also made me understand what that person is actually going through and what the people around them should do or should need to do. I was going to DNF this book after reading the first half of the book, which is 172 pages, and that didn't entertain me at all. It was only about the project and their meetings and the simple paper cutouts or some Google theories that Finch found. It didn't introduce me to the two characters or two main characters of this book, just to two teenagers who were struggling, but with what, how, and when were not answered. just here and there written to lengthen the plot, but nothing was actually written or answered. Now, believe me when I say this, I have read so many depression and mental health related books which were actually not published from published authors, but like you know that I read from Wattpad and Inkit, and believe me, they have a bunch of books based on this topic, this whole concept, which were really good and actually made me tear up. So after reading those books and just reading this book, that didn't live up to my expectations at all. So I'm not saying this book is really bad. It's good, but not for me. At the start, I really liked the theories that were written, that theories that Finch found about suicidal acts that were happening all over the world from the time back in time. I actually was enjoying reading those and his not thoughts, but yeah, the things that he was imagining to do to take his life. But at a certain point, it actually became repetitive to me, cause it was nothing else, just like what's the book is about. I didn't find anything that what the book was about. It was just that as I've said earlier, this paper cuttings, Google theories were written here and there to make his thoughts known. So I know things like that might make some readers feel that what was going to happen and what was actually Finch imagining, but I didn't feel anything at all after reading those. I mean, yeah, those theories and the relation with Finch character was there, but it was not clearly there as I was hoping for. And as I was already losing my interest after reading the first half of the book, um, it just didn't live up to me. Now, I would only recommend you to read this book if you have already read or seen the content or trigger warnings of this book, that this book has depression, mental health issues, and certain plot scenes and plots that might trigger you. So I would highly suggest you to read that first. And also, if you are a die-hard romantic fan and you just don't care about what the plot is, but just romantics, and if there is romance, that's just good for you. So yeah, to read this book, I would highly recommend you to read this book. But if you do care about the plot being not repetitive and being like, if you do care that the plot should not be repetitive, plot should be not predictable, if you are not, and if you're not a diehard romantic, please don't read this book. I highly don't recommend you to read this book. So I tried to summarize my feelings for this book in this whole video. I hope you would all actually understand that not every book is for everyone. If you like this book but I didn't like this book, that doesn't mean that it's not for everyone. I'm only saying that what I felt about this book and what I wanted to share. I know the hype is real and everything, but not every time hype's the word, the hype. So do comment in the comment section if you have read this book, if you love this book, or if you didn't like this book just like me. So goodbye till the next video.